Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about gerunds and infinitives when you have a sentence that contains more than one verb. So as you probably already know, the basic construction of a sentence in English is that you have a subject and a verb, a subject and a verb, a subject and a main verb. And the rule is that the main verb of a sentence, the one that is typically after the subject, must be conjugated. That means that you need to take two main things into account. One is the subject. So, for example, I have three sentences with the verb want, but in the first sentence, I want, my friend wants. And the reason for this is that in the simple present, if the subject is he or she or it, you need to add an S to the verb, and this is the correct conjugation. If you're talking about a situation in the past, as in the third example, the correct form of the verb want in the past is wanted. Similarly, in the sentences with enjoy, I enjoy, but if the subject is my brother enjoys, and if you're talking about the past, my brother enjoyed. However, it is very common in English to have a sentence where you have your main verb and then immediately after you have a second verb, occasionally even a third verb. And when that happens, the second or the third verb is not conjugated. So basically, the subject doesn't affect the second verb, and the tense doesn't affect the second verb. So in these examples, I want to stay home tonight, but my friend wants to go out. And when I was young, I wanted to be a doctor. So even though you're talking about different tenses and different subjects, only the first verb is affected by this. The second verb in all of the situations is an infinitive: to stay, to go, to be. Now, the only problem is that an infinitive is not the only possibility when you have a sentence with more than one verb. Another possibility is a gerund. So, for example, I enjoy doing exercise. My brother enjoys playing video games. And as a kid, I enjoyed watching cartoons. So, it's similar in the sense that the subject and the tense only affect the first verb, but it's different because in this case you have a gerund, doing, playing, and watching. And I know the question that you're asking yourself is, okay, well, when do you use a gerund and when do you use an infinitive? And basically, it depends on the verb that you have before. So for example, in all of these cases, you have the verb want before, and the verb want combines exclusively with an infinitive. I want to go, I want to see. Other verbs that combine exclusively with an infinitive include the verb need. So for example, I need to finish this. My sister needs to go to the doctor. The verb hope, I hope to travel more this year. My father hopes to buy a new car. And there are many verbs that combine exclusively with a gerund. So for example, the verb enjoy. The verb recommend would be another example. So for example, if you want to learn English, I recommend practicing every day. And if you keep watching the video, at the very end of the video, I will put a list of verbs, additional verbs that combine with infinitives, and additional verbs that combine with gerunds. And after you watch the video, you might also want to check the description of the video. There is a link for a worksheet in the description. And so you can download this worksheet, and it has 4 exercises for you to practice a little bit more. And finally, I mean, I just recommend exposing yourself to the language as much as possible. So for example, if you say these types of sentences every day, or you listen to these types of sentences every day, there will come a time when you will listen to these types of sentences and you will hear maybe somebody who is learning English say something like, I want go. And immediately your mind will say, this is not correct. The correct form is, I want to go, in the infinitive form. So as always, I mean, practice is the best thing that you can do.